But they don't know that tick up for they are rated as the best. I wouldn't dare love is the sound of all this. When I get up in the guy, I only girls we are request, so give me the girl them. Yo, in every minute I'm with it, forget the girl them, excuse it and get them regular visit, just give me the girl them. Now them all a pressure, me sell it last say I'm me, I did that for them off, feed them big.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we doing it, baby. Holla me radio. DJ Pretty Blacks and the ones and twos, this is how we doing it tonight, baby. Let's get it cracking. Let's go, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen, let's turn it up, let's get it cracking, baby. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, we want the Pretty Blacks, let's go. Yeah. If you think Batman, your blood will have to run, yeah. If your life was scratched away, your life will done. Batman shot pussy the fun. If you think you better run, so Batman lives with it, sleep with it. Who you cup about me teeth and eat with it. Go and street with it, not leaving it. If you're this Batman, you will be feeling it. Man bleed with it, sleep with it. Who you cup about me teeth and eat some food with it. Go and street with it, me not leaving it. If you're this Batman, you will be feeling it. Man a party gun kid, man a Billy the Kid. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, this is what it is. We're feeling the vibe right now. Let's go. Your parade, and your body rocket. Want to tell me back me band when you get to college. When me get me knowledge, me no take hostage. Me no leave witness at a liar business. A stranger is a life man live. Anyway, now go separate my bullet from my gun now. If it is bad man, your blood without to run. Ladies and gentlemen, we just warming it up. We getting a vibe. We building the vibes, baby. DJ Pretty Blacks and the ones and twos. Let's get it cracking, baby. Let's go. Angie from Cali, I see you, sexy. What up?
I'm so special. That's why I'm strapped with my father five special. Boy, I bring this together and they want to chase like petal. Tanja. I'm so special. Tell them enough fear, two fierce expression. Guys, you know, dirty mouth can't chase nor better. Me hear them shot, and that's what they want me. Red panda to them, help what people with them red panda. This is fear, dirty heart, you are going dead from that shit. Now them a say me mark to death, and it's time what them say me walk to death, you see. Them lock me down, man, me can't forget. God Jehovah did a guide me, say me not regret, yeah. I'm so special. Let's say I'm strapped with the father five special. You want free this girl and them want to get that special. But I'm so special. Tell them you don't fear two fierce expression. Dirty mouth can't chase nor death all the same thing. Jack ass even at the swine pot. In pharmacy too much that them blind fat. One plate of food them sell out mankind for. Yes, what yearn so when the bag of bad mind sight. Set them not work so when the fuck them on me shine for. Give them what them want when them a mix me in a crime for. And the same thing while not rising mind for. Every dirty herb Josh shall show them a sign for. Jaja. Last night in the past night. Infrared on the main was the last night. Last night, yeah. Top on this after me, kill me. Told us that to let them catch me. Broke on me, that's the money, them a watch me. Some want to chain and them a wonder when me watch me. Want to bust me, that women Dr. Clever patch me. What about man, I know do my and touch me. Tell me palm and this shotgun, me have the factory. Swear to them, me DNA did. Me tell them what you gun me bust last night in the past night. Infrared on the main was the last night. You want to pop call me. You want to get your kids. Ladies and gentlemen, we got about two more, then we're going to get to it, baby. Let's go.
Me a married, call me from the other day. Like a place some boy you play. Hear the girls cry, hear the girls bar, hear the girls cry. She said me,
I want to do the wicked and black. I need 1, 2, 3, hurry man. I want to do the to the fan. Grab back his hands like a black man. I want to do the wicked and black. I need 1, 2, 3, hurry man. I want to do the do me in the stand. Grab back his hands like a black man.
with the love you want you want to get them wine. I know it's been a while, but baby never mind. Tonight me and you the whole line. Satisfaction every girl dream. You have to put it on every girl and scream. Me get a call from sexy Maxine. She never get it from me and sign. She said me,
I I wanna do the wickedest play. And even 1, 2, 3, how we met. I wanna do it how time to the bed. That is time to feels like a man. I wanna do the wickedest play. And even 1, 2, 3, how we met. I wanna do it how me in the bed. That in time to feels like a man.
No, na 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 no. Kill them with the fly. Kill them with the no. Just make a boy know you're not blow. Big guy. Kill them with the no. Boy ain't got secret but you about it. Kill them with the no. Just make a boy know you're not blow. Big guy. Kill them with the no. Tell them to be a god for soul. Me wear your skin a teeth and make me see. You swear from your phone say you never tweet. You wanna freak, one man you keep. And him never get complaint, say you deep. You make your bow, you no answer to yo. And a one man a come play a chow. Lift up your bro, make a guy know. Say if you move him blow, I sing again, head die. Kill them with the no. Just make a boy know you're not blow. Head die, kill them with the no. Make a boy know you wanna fish up about head die. Kill them with the no.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Pretty Blacks on the ones and twos, baby. This is how we doing it tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go, let's go.
If your mouth clean, no man never rub your hint in no ice cream. You don't smell green like Charlene. You will appreciate have a healthy hygiene. Come as you mean while they keep blooming. Like a pretty little lily in the morning. You're not crawling, press on them darling. When you're rising, them keep falling. So sing I can head side. Kill them with you know. Just make a boy know you're not blow. Inside, kill them with you know. Now boy can't take a you fit for the
Ask why she said she have sense. She said she but she just an artist. We can't be friends. If she getting our feelings. Look like you need a no replacement.
Let's go, let's go. Any ladies out there that need a replacement, come on, talk to Pretty Blacks. Let's go, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, Holla Me Radio, this is how we doing it tonight, baby. Let's get it cracking.
So good you wanna cry. She love the size, so that you fantasize. She open up like a window, put in a ceiling like a shingle. Pretty just a twinkle. So our body just a triple. So she open up like a window. We make she feel like a flamingo. We make she dash at the dildo. She no fear, use no finger. Say you feel me one, so no let me ask me, just bring it come.
Let's go, ladies. Dexter Daps is definitely in the building. Big Lance in the building. What up?
Oh, she said, I'm from you, anything goes. Net up, Latin go. To a we a sweat, but you for some bingo. To a we a liar, yes, we're single.
Big Ed definitely in the building. What up?
Pretty just a twinkle, so our body just a tremble, so she open up like a window, make she feel like a flamingo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're definitely in the building. Dexter Daps with that last track. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, that track is crazy. That track is one of them tracks that, you know, it's crazy. But that's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we definitely in the building. We keeping it flowing. I see Pretty Blacks on the camera trying to chase a fly. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you know, it's summertime. You know, that's how it is. Summertime in New York City.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely in the building. We're going to get this cracking. We're going to get this going. Right now, we're a little bit behind time, but we got a great topic today. Want to talk about it, want to get it cracking. So basically, this topic today is about mental health. We're going to talk about it to see how good is your mental health. Are you really and truly crazy? So, Pretty Blacks, I got a question for you. Anybody ever told you that you're crazy?
Yeah, I think we all kind of have that nowadays. If you ain't called crazy,
then that means you're crazy?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you really crazy.
Oh, so if you're being called crazy, that means you're not crazy. You're not really crazy.
I mean, nowadays, crazy is just a word that is just used
tossed around like
Yeah,
crazy, like
yeah.
like nothing. Well, I
Yeah,
was
because
about
back
to
in
say
the
crazy.
day, like you really had to, even mental disorder wasn't even called crazy back in the day. Crazy was really crazy, like violent or just like unpredictable.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that they mental is not really sound, so to speak. So we want to talk about a little bit about mental health. I know with the last topic we kind of touched on the the mental part of depression, and we were talking about that a lot of times pretty blacks realize that pretty blacks. You remember the statement that you made?
What's that? Remind me.
That was the one that you were saying about the reason why people become depressed.
Uh-huh.
And you were saying that it's because of their expectation from the progress that they want to make, and if they don't make that progress, then they become depressed.
Yeah.
So, believe it or not, depression is a form of mental disorder.
It's not. It's not a disorder.
Uh, Mentally, okay, so basically,
I
we,
mean,
we
once
call it a disorder in the medical
without
field,
yeah.
only because it's an imbalance.
Yeah.
And
Without
believe-
the
Go ahead.
okay, I was gonna say without me discovering what I discovered,
Yeah.
I would look at it as a disorder. But once I start putting two and two together and I'm connected with lack of progress, then I don't put it with disorder.
Well, when it becomes chronic, it becomes disorder. When I say
Yeah.
chronic, I'm talking about over a time period, over a period of time. Absolute Battleship, what up? I see you, big dog.
And
So-
also when it's not aligning with the goals, now it's a disorder because you can't
There's a lot of people that's not goal oriented
That's what I'm saying.
that you can't really call them.
when you can't match it up with a goal, then you can't really treat it in
As-
the sense of where I'm coming from.
Okay, got you. So you put it, and that's the thing about mental disorder, and that's why I kind of want to talk about it. Unfortunately, we don't really have much time to really dig into it.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to get a crack at it anyway because it's an important topic,
Let's do it.
Yeah, so basically, mental disorder is one of these things that I must say, if you haven't experienced it on the outside and you don't study it, a lot of times you don't realize if you are affected, and when a person is affected mentally with a mental disorder, it could be schizophrenic, it could be bipolar, it could be depression,
It's
it could be.
it's challenging. It's challenging because most people write it off because they don't actually see the obstacle. It's not a physical obstacle that you see, but through all, and it's challenging because the obstacle itself it has no limit. You know how in the physical world you have a limit. If you have car issues, there's a limit to it. But when you have depression, there's no limit. It's literally your entire makeup. It could deal with your reality. So, I just
Yeah.
feel like
Well, the beautiful thing, and let me say not even beautiful because it becomes not beautiful at times because when you look at mental health, you may think that, okay, you got a hand on it or you're not mentally ill when you really are. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we want to talk about to kind of catch it that way, people, because sometimes it's the people that's around you, your real people, those be the ones to be able to tell you and check you and say, yo, you know what, you need to seek help.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that if
And a
somebody,
lot of times you gotta know the person. You gotta have history on the person for you to kind of like check them.
Right.
Like you just don't know, how far they willing to go for things. When you just don't know. So certain people, it's good to have some kind of history because you could go check somebody and just you trying to put them in a place, actually put them in a place, but it actually now it lights a fire in them now for them to look at you as like the wrong way now as somebody that's trying to check them.
Well, you know what it is. I feel that if you're real about yours and you care about whoever you're talking to, this is one of the things that you definitely got to make sure that you step to the person and let them know that mentally they're not stable. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, if you tell somebody that and you're real with them and you're serious with them, they're gonna become very obviously not happy, especially if they're not mentally stable. So
I mean, nobody want to hear. Nobody want to hear.
you're crazy.
Yeah, you know what it is.
But this
too?
is the thing. Are you crazy? Pretty Black. So you crazy?
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm crazy.
Okay, but if somebody's telling you that you're crazy, would you check yourself to see if you are crazy?
Of course. 'Cause
Right.
crazy,
So if I'm telling you, yo, Pretty Black, you're a little crazy, man. You need to seek mental help.
yeah.
What are you gonna do? You're probably gonna say I'm crazy because you're not crazy.
No, first I'll go ask people.
But they
I try
don't
to
know. So here's the thing.
I try to get some kind of proof that.
But
this
if they crazy too, they're gonna say you're not crazy.
But what? How do I know the difference between them and you? Like you could be the crazy.
Exactly. So this is why I want to bring that up because depending on who you're gonna ask or who you're trying to seek out to say, do I really have a mental problem? Do I need help?
Yeah.
Depending on who you seeking out to ask that question you might be asking the wrong person.
Yeah, you
know what I'm
might be
saying?
asking the problem for answers.
You might be asking the problem for answers. Okay, I kind of like that.
Like
I
someone
like
has
that.
the same problem as you, and now you
Right.
try-
And they're not treated.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I think that a lot of times it's so good to understand mental health. And if you understand the mental health, you're able to kind of analyze yourself and say, yo, you know what? I'm a little crazy or I need to seek medical attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now don't get it twisted. I mean, for me, can I say that I'm crazy? I'm somewhat crazy. You know what I'm saying? But when I say crazy, there's in certain things, I'm pretty much
Yeah, crazy.
straight to in my ways. I'm fixed in my ways, and I call that crazy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Crazy could
So-
be a good thing.
Yeah. So that's not the crazy I'm talking
Like
about.
you could talk
I'm-
like Michael Jordan was crazy about basketball.
Right. And this just popped in my head. I must say. So I was talking to a buddy of mine last night,
Okay.
and he did with Scarlett, part of the team, and he was explaining that Scarlett actually signed with Epic.
Oh well, congrats to her.
Yeah, 1.5. But
Nice.
yeah, so the thing about that is, I was a little disappointed when I heard that.
Wow.
Only because I think that she was doing so good remaining independent. If she remained independent, because her team was strong. So basically, right now, she's weaning out. Not that she's weaning out. Epic is really taking over a lot of things. And
It's not easy. That's why I can't agree with 100% because everybody feel like the work is easy, the independent work, but it's really literally worldwide. You know what I mean? You trying to keep in touch with these people, have a business relationship with these people, also be reputable, like for them to respect you enough. And
yeah.
you dealing with international. There's a lot of scamming. Like it's not easy. Even
Well,
within-
you know what it is. When sorry to cut you off too. When it comes down to something is not easy, it doesn't mean you jump on the easy board because what could happen? You can get shelved.
Yeah, but
And-
what do you
and-
rather have? Would you rather have 5% of something that doesn't?
But she was growing. That's the point.
What do
she
you
was
rather
growing.
have? what would you rather have? 5% of $100, or would you rather have
5% or nothing.
5% or nothing?
Right. I totally understand what you're saying, but she had something independently. See, the thing about it is, she was building a buzz, so she was
No, but
This-
the rap game is kind of sports.
okay.
So it's like, of course, you in your 20s.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but ladies and gentlemen, I just want to we briefly talking about this, and Pretty Blacks is, he manages artists, and
Yeah, that's
he's
my
been an
field.
artist.
That's
and
what I do.
This is the reason why I talked to him about it, because I want to hear his feedback, and I'm going to go strong on him as well. But go ahead, Pretty Blacks. I hear you.
Yeah,
Come on.
so I was gonna say, like, the hip hop game is sort of like sports because you get in so young, and you have time, and you have a window, a time for how long you could literally sell records and stay hot. Now it's possible that you could stay hot after a certain amount of years, but is a risk and it's a gamble. So, and you gambling with your livelihood, with how you're gonna support yourself. So it's best to secure the bag while you're still young. It's like telling a young ball player that, oh yeah, you're scoring 24 points a game now, but 10 years from now you might only be scoring 10 points a game, and you might not even be on a good team. So if you want a good team and you scoring, get the bag.
Right, but you know what it is. One of the things that we spoke about is money and power, and obviously, when you think about it superficially, you say if you got money, you got power, right? And really and truly, that's not the case. We spoke about that. A lot of people with money does not have the power, and they still locked up, or they get locked up and they can't get out because they don't have the power. Now, some people that have the power and their money is just not up there.
Yeah.
And now some people have the power, then get the money, and the power becomes outrageous.
Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. I feel like she didn't have the money, but she was getting the power. Okay? So now
It's
when
a
you have
gamble.
the but the thing about it is
It's a
she's
gamble.
already she's already over the hump. She's already past the 50%.
No, because she's still going through the draft. It's like the basketball. It's like,
but the thing about it
she's
is
still getting picked up. She
But she's
doesn't
already
have a
having
team yet.
it
She
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
have a team.
Her team help her to get where she's at.
She doesn't have a team. It's like
Alright,
it's like
well,
it's like we looking at
well,
it from a basketball point. Did you ever used
I
to
think
watch?
I think mentally she's a little
Did
unstable.
you ever used to watch street basketball, the N1 competitions? You ever heard of them?
No.
Okay.
no.
Anyway, like
Yeah.
in New York, there's a lot of street ballers that play basketball in the streets.
Right.
That's like saying, oh yeah, you
Stay
really
with them instead of NBA.
play basketball in the streets and don't get picked up by an NBA team.
No,
well,
but
listen, you could be the best.
all right.
ball
So let me
player, and
let me
people,
clarify.
Especially,
let me clarify.
Let me finish this real quick. I just want to finish this because it's just so.
But I don't want you to forget what you're saying. But I want to clarify. One of the reasons why I think that it was a bad deal is because of how the deal was structured. The deal wasn't structured for her. The deal was structured against her, and that's the 100% reason why I say she should have stayed independent or signed with someone else or signed a different type of deal. Because with this
But the
deal,
thing- Yeah.
it's not putting her best in. It's not for her best interest.
Yeah, no. The thing with Epic, she gotta be
So go
real.
ahead.
She gotta be real careful with Epic because Epic will sign you real fast. They'll pick you up while you're young, and they'll just shelf you. Well, not to say anything
Well,
bad.
but this is exactly what I'm saying, and this is the reason why I'm saying when I heard the details about the deal is when I say I was so disappointed. But anyway, let's get what's your last thing you want to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, just I wish you all the success.
Yeah, we all do, and you know what, we're gonna make sure that we support her, any which way. But let's get back to this mental health, ladies and gentlemen. Um, so we want to talk about mental health. Mental health is one of them things that you know we're talking about when it's a problem. Major Pain is definitely in the building. What up? What up? I see you out there. Major Pain say everyone has a bit of crazy.
Shout out to Angie from Cali. She said, "I'm crazy and I know it."
Oh, shoot.
Shout out to you.
Okay. LJ in the building. I see you, big dog. Yeah, so basically, we're talking about 10 reasons why people have mental illness problems, all right? So let's get to number 10. We're talking about the top 10 reasons why mental health problem. So basically, a little crazy is a little crazy, but it becomes a problem when it's a problem to you and others.
Yeah.
You know, so to be a little crazy, okay, it's not a bad thing as long as it's not a
But
problem.
like I'm saying, people
When does it become a problem?
people use crazy like it's almost like a cool. It's cool.
To be crazy, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the reason why people don't seek.
Yeah. Back in the
Help.
day, being crazy was almost like somebody making your mama joke on you. You know what I mean? It's like,
Okay.
you crazy. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? And nowadays, I think the word crazy now doesn't mean crazy. Crazy means you look crazy.
Okay.
You know
Well,
what I mean? Like I had-
let's jump into number 10 because number
Okay.
10 sounds a bit like what you're saying.
All right.
So basically, what it's saying is a stigma and lack of access to mental health services. So societal stigma surrounding mental health often prevent individuals from seeking help. Additionally, inadequate access to mental health service or financial limitation can hinder a person from receiving the support that they need. So basically, I think that kind of it's kind of close to what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Because basically you're talking about what people look at. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what crazy was more of back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and you acting crazy. Now crazy is more of like the way you act. Back in the day, crazy was more the way that you look.
Right. So what are some of the things that you would say that a person will act crazy? I think that kind of comes into number 9. Number 9 is saying that work-related stress, high-level stress in the workplace, such as, big time, big time. So excessive workload, tight deadlines, or a toxic work environment can lead to mental health problems like burnout, anxiety, or depression. So that's that depression that you initially was talking about.
Yeah.
It definitely goes to the workforce. Now, one of the key element that you're saying is relationships.
Relationships.
Females stress out the males, or the males stress out the females. One of the things that I saw on social media, they say any woman that want to lose weight, meaning be stressed out, they should date a Jamaican man. It's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy.
I hope that's not true. But this is what they say. So relationships, because of relationships, people get, it gets a little crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's number 9. Number 8, we talking about social isolation and loneliness. So lack of social support, isolation, or feeling disconnected from others can negatively impact mental health and contribute to conditions like depression and anxiety. So what I'm realizing is this word depression is coming up a lot. And depression is one of those things that it's different levels of depression,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because
It's different type of depression. Depression is kind of like a disease that they don't really have a real name for, a study for, so they just label a bunch of stuff.
no. Depression is they got it really.
But it's
locked
so
down.
many different stuff
I
because
mean, it's different levels to depression. But
the depression that brought us to the topic that we were
Yeah.
talking about from last time that brought us to the topic today was more of if you're in a
That's not
society,
really depression like what they're talking about, though.
yeah, but all depression starts from that.
Right. Because you think about it, right?
Yeah.
When a person feels like their life is not going accordingly, like
Yeah.
things is not working out in their life, and
Yeah.
it's a constant thing to where they just keep trying and trying, and it's just not popping.
Yeah.
It's like after a while, actually, initially they become depressed, but if it keeps on
Because-
going like that,
Yeah,
the
it gets
depression
worse.
just grow and grow
No,
and
because
grow
if we look at it, peer pressure also plays right into that because
into
you're-
depression.
yeah, if you got your friends, maybe they all
Oh,
you
got
could,
you.
it could be very
you.
you're very young and maybe they all go to the skating rings on Friday night and now
Uh-huh.
you can't go. And you just don't see your life getting better now because every time you go to school on Monday, your friends are talking about how much fun they had
Skating.
over the weekend
Right,
skating.
right.
So now you're just looking towards the future like, I don't see this getting any better for me because I can't join them skating. That could cause depression.
Okay.
Maybe not having the right sneakers, you're not progressing. The new sneakers came out, everybody bought the sneakers, you don't have it. That could
Well,
cause depression.
Well, when we talk about depression, we talking about
It could go down to the grades. It could be something serious as the grades. Your circle of friends is all getting A's and B's, and here you are in your circle of friends, and you just can't get away from the F's and the D's.
Right.
And it make you go home. You're not around them. It gets you in the mood of depression. You know what I mean? So depression in itself is, I think, the part of depression that we're talking about could be easily treated with the proper training and discipline.
well, you're talking about if the depression is coming from that direct state at that time. So basically, like when you go to these psychiatrists, right?
Yeah.
And they say, okay, tell me about your life. Start from whenever you could remember, and they go up to wherever. You start running your mouth, you're talking, and this and that.
Yeah.
So what happens now is that they keep tracking you, and then they could find out where the beginning, where it begun, where it started.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about the starting point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so now if they track back and they get to the starting point, then you could resolve it because now
Now
you
go
could
back to where.
right because now it's all perception. Now you could use that
Yeah.
to make yourself better because it's either that thing is
Yeah,
gonna
but
make
that's
you
why-
depressed,
Uh-huh.
or because you don't want to be depressed.
You overcome it. Yeah.
Right.
But that's why I'm saying, like, with that situation, it could also help fight the depression because now you see yourself kind of like achieving something. You see something that could be depressing, that could be the cause of your depression. But now that you see through being practical and doing something, you could overcome this. So now when this feeling of depression come by doing from something else that maybe is not as practical, maybe it's some trauma or maybe it's the way you look or maybe something else that's not as practical as maybe like goal driven mood that's getting you depressed, then you could fight that battle a little better if you are able to achieve these feelings because it's all feelings and emotions, and if you could change that to be something positive for you, then maybe when that feeling of that those negative feelings comes back in a different situation, you have faith that you could also turn those feelings around into something positive.
All right, so let me ask you a question. I mean, do you think that females have more issues mentally than men?
I personally believe so, but I believe
Okay,
that
tell me why.
women have more support.
Why do you think that women have more mental issues than men?
Oh, because women, their consciousness comes. A lot of their consciousness in this generation comes from, you know, the sex appeal, the way that they look in the way
Okay,
that
so-
they are attractive.
Okay,
know.
I hear you.
So it's more elements. A man is on one hand, I could probably count a man's worries and concerns.
All right, so maybe this will also help in what you're saying. I agree with you 100%. So number 7 is hormonal changes. Hormonal changes uh, practically during puberty, pregnancy, or menopause can lead to mood disorder or like depression. So or anxiety. So basically, um, these are features that females go through: pregnancy,
Uh-huh.
depression, anxiety comes out of that. Puberty,
Yeah.
they just get their period. You know, depression, anxiety goes into that.
Yep.
Menopause, so they stop their period.
Yeah.
Depression and anxiety goes into that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so much
not-
different elements.
yeah. So what I'm saying is, they should have a lot more support than the men because they go through a lot more than the men.
Yeah. They
That's the only reason
I
why I
mean-
kind of brought that up, because you know, I think it's one of those things that they definitely need more support because they have more mental issues than men.
I mean,
Ladies, if y'all out there, y'all disagree, please, tap in and let me know
Yeah.
what your thoughts are.
I think
But
the
definitely,
ladies
100%,
would know
ladies
better.
have more mental issues, more mental problems than
Yo,
you know.
I ain't saying I ain't saying all of that. I'm just
Listen,
saying
listen,
they got
ladies.
more elements
Ladies, I'm just keeping it 100.
in their
all right?
consciousness that they have to deal with.
Ladies, I'm keeping it 100. Pretty Blacks is nervous. He don't want to say the wrong thing,
So
to
you
offend the
over here-
wrong thing.
So you saying that ladies?
I'm trying to pump him on. That way he could say
So
it, not
what
me.
are you saying? What are you actually saying about the ladies?
I'm just saying that they're not as stable as men, and these are the reasons why. Because
So
let me say it though.
Are you
The reason why is because of hormonal changes that they go through, and because they go through these hormonal changes,
That's interesting.
it's to be understood.
So you
So
feel like
on the list
yeah.
is clearly state hormonal changes. Now don't get it twisted. Males do go through puberty,
Yeah,
but they don't go through these stages as female.
that's crazy. Because my question for you now,
Yeah,
you're
talk to
saying
me.
that ladies have more mental issues. So you
I
believe-
think I'm sorry. Angie from Cali stated that women are more stable than men, which is incorrect.
Okay, my question for
100%.
you.
I disagree. But yeah, go ahead.
My question for you is: you believe that ladies have more mental issues, which means
Absolutely.
they are.
They
Angie
have-
said
they have
they
more
are more
stress.
stable.
They're more
You
unstable.
saying you? Yes, that's
Yeah.
what you believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Ladies, I mean, y'all agree with me.
Yeah, ladies.
Major Pain,
Yo,
if you out there,
if
talk to
you're
me.
not out there, if y'all ain't logged in online, go log in and look at his face when he says it. Like he is so convincing.
I mean, listen.
But my
Pretty
question
Blacks,
for you, I got a
Pretty
question
Blacks.
for you. I got a question
So
for you.
we're
So,
just calling the spade a
I got a
spade.
question
This
for
is
you.
this is how we do it at Holla at Me Radio.
All right, so my question for you is,
And
if
ladies,
you
I
feel
love
like,
y'all.
if you
Go
feel
ahead.
like the ladies are emotionally unstable, right?
I'm saying that they're more
More
unstable
emotionally
than male.
unstable.
Yeah,
Do you
100%.
feel
100%.
that a lady is fit to be a president?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying all ladies. I'm not saying 100% of them. I'm
Okay.
just saying overall, if you look at a lady and you look at a man, you're gonna see that the lady's a little more unstable.
Okay.
I'm talking mentally, ladies. I'm talking hormonally. Okay. I'm talking when it comes down to their hormones. Their hormones is a little more unstable than men. Now, if you look at the list, I'm just going with the list.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So based on the list, hormonal changes. Now, men does not go through pregnancy, okay? And we give it to them. I mean, they're pregnant.
Yeah.
We
they
got
go through a
got to
lot.
see with them, and we
They
got to
go through
respect
a
that.
lot. A baby
Yeah.
grows in them for 9 months.
Exactly. This is the reason why we got to respect them, and we got to call a spade, and we got to give them more help than we give the males.
Yeah, yeah.
Males are just
They
acting like
actually-
females because they want to act like females.
Yeah, yeah. They
But
actually
as a-
have a reason. The
Right.
ladies, 'cause they actually bringing in life.
Exactly.
It's like they whole. I look at the ladies that like their whole life is is based or trained around them actually becoming a mother. Whether it's consciously or subconsciously, but it's like they go through their whole life training to be a mother if they get that opportunity.
Right, right. And that's the reason why we got to give them the love, we got to give them the support, and we got to respect what it is.
Shout out to the ladies.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to the ladies, definitely unstable ladies out there. I see y'all out there. Ain't nothing but love, but we call a spade a spade. So that's just what it is. Pretty Blacks, I know you don't want to say anything because you're trying to save face. But ladies, I'm going to keep it 100 because I got the love for y'all.
Ladies, he's saying that y'all crazy.
Are you crazy? Now, you got to ask if you meet a lady
You gotta
and
ask
you're
if she
interested.
crazy.
That should be the number one question. Are you crazy?
Mm.
And here's the thing, based on how she answered it,
That's how you.
yeah. If off the back she's like, oh no, I'm not crazy. That means she's crazy.
Crazy.
But if off the back she say, oh yeah, I know I'm crazy, that means she's crazy.
Like Angie.
Yeah. So
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 wait.
basically-
You said if she said not crazy, that means she's crazy.
absolutely,
And if she
100%.
says she's crazy, that still means she's crazy.
Absolutely, 100%. Now, if she sit back and she think about it, she don't answer you,
Yeah.
this one might be sane.
Oh really?
She might have some sanity about
Oh
her.
really?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just breaking it down. Motivations are us. I see you out there. What up? What up? So, so let's get to number 6. We good with that one? One more
Yeah.
no changes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what it is. So let's get to number 6. Number 6 is about childhood experiences. So adverse childhood experience like neglect, abuse, dysfunctional family dynamic can actually have long-lasting effect on mental health in adulthood. So basically, we spoke about that. This is when the psychiatrist might sit down and tell you to sit in the couch and you start talking about your childhood
Yeah.
and you start seeing all the dysfunctions and all the abuse that you received, and then you wonder why you in turn abuse people.
Mm.
One of the things that it just came to my mind, Chris Brown, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Chris Brown he was abused
Yeah.
as a child.
Oh really?
Yeah, so he ended up abusing
Yeah. That
a
was the
female.
way that he knew
Right.
how to react.
Right. So once he addressed that and took care of that, problem solved. But it's like getting to the root. You got to get to the root. So yeah. So early childhood experience definitely is one of those factors that is definitely a major factor in mental health problem. You know what I mean? So let's go to number 5. Number 5 is talking about environmental factors, such as living in a high stress environment, exposure to resources, can, I'm sorry, exposure to pollution, or lack of access to essential resources can actually contribute to the development of mental problems. So
Yo,
that's
not to cut you off, but we come to the last segment of the radio show on WPAT. We'll definitely see y'all next Sunday for Caribbean Night. We will continue the show on www.hollaatmeradio.com. So check us out.
Yeah, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, check us out. We're definitely live on hollameradio.com, and we are also live on YouTube, which is Holla at Me Radio, and we are live on Facebook. So, just tune in. We definitely gonna keep it going. So, yeah, let's keep it going. So, yeah, environmental factors. So basically, this is one of the things in the hood, so-called the hood. In the hood, there's less opportunity, less resources. Let me
Okay.
in order for people to get help. In the better neighborhoods, there are more resources,
Okay.
such as even recreational centers and the way the recreational centers are organized. You know, these are things that these are facts. So environmental factors definitely contribute to mental health. You know what I mean? So, Pretty Blacks, if you were to say you had a problem, if you were to say that you definitely had a problem, and one of your problems was, I'm talking mentally now.
Okay.
Could you give me one issue that you would say is your biggest issue mentally?
If I had like,
No, right now you do have a mental problem. Everybody got some kind of problem. This is what you stated, so I want to know yours.
I didn't state that I had a mental problem,
But you don't have a mental problem?
I mean, I can't diagnose myself, but I don't.
All right, I diagnosed you already, though. I told you you got a mental problem now.
Okay, what is
So,
it? If you diagnose me, you gotta let me know what it is.
but I want for you to track yourself to see where's your mental problem at.
I mean, I play with my phone, but it's not an addiction, you know what I mean? It's
Oh, that could be an addiction if you bring that up. So that's one addiction that you have is social
Yeah.
media. You know what I'm saying?
social media. I be on my phone, but
On a regular.
yeah,
Oh, damn. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, he needs some help. Social media. He's addicted. But I'm serious though. Like take for instance, there's some people that suffers with depression,
yeah,
and you know they able to say, okay, yo, I'm majority of the time I'm depressed because I don't really want to be around nobody, and because when they get around people, they feel lower or they feel less than. You understand? One of the things that I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was saying that when it comes down to being around certain stars, when you get around them, he feel the energy is so crazy that he feel like he's less than. You know what I mean? But when he get around other stars, he feel as if, oh, he's just chilling with his homie.
yeah.
So I want to ask you a question based on that because he felt as if he was, I don't know if you want to call it starstruck, but basically he felt like he's been around a few people, and some of these people, when he get around them, he just feel crazy. You just feel as if he, you know,
Yeah, like a groupie or something.
yeah, but it obviously he's not a groupie, but
Yeah, but the way that they make him feel.
yeah, and it's like the aura. Basically, what I'm saying is he feel their aura. They aura is like magnetic, and like it just kind of push him to the side because the aura about them is so powerful. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you now is I'm gonna list the stars that he mentioned, and I want for you to think to say which one of these stars. It was two of them actually. Which two of them made him feel like whoa? It was I think he said Britney Spears, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. How much is that? 5?
50 Cent, Britney Spears, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. That's
That's 4. It was another one. Oh, Dr. Dre.
okay.
Which one do you think that he said had him feeling like because they aura was so dominant? You know what I mean? It's not like he was. It was on him. He just felt as if once he got next to them, once he got into their presence,
Yeah.
it was nuts. It was like he felt as if that it was like a tsunami hit him. Which one? Which it was two of them. Which two out of that group?
I would say Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent.
All right, so you got half of it right. 50 Cent was one of them, and Britney Spears was the other one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so basically, I think that when it comes down to your mental, I think that if you are so if you're so mentally strong that you're able to even feel someone else's energy
Yeah.
and be able to deal with that energy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a positive energy. It's so positive that it's like radiate, like it takes you in like a
Yeah,
wave.
you can feel it.
You know what I'm saying? So when you deal with a person like that, like, do you feel as if mentally you're strong, or do you feel as if mentally you're weak? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, you gotta be strong because it's a form of communication for y'all to actually be you to be able to feel that person's energy. It's a form of communication, energy communicating in ways that you don't even understand, but it's definitely not a weakness because you are
Right.
aware.
Your awareness is high. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I just wanted to kind of get that point in because it's one of those things that I believe that with your mental health come with also mental awareness. The more that you are aware mentally is the more healthy that you could become mentally because that awareness actually lets you be protective with your own mental.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you get around people that's so negative and you can't even pick up the negative people from the positive people,
Yeah.
you're
done.
Yeah, you're
done.
done.
In the game.
You're done.
You don't even
I like that.
you ain't gonna navigate.
Exactly. So let's get back to it. We talked about number 5, which is environmental factors. Let's get to number 4, which is substance abuse. So substance abuse, including drugs, alcohol, can have severe consequences on the mental health. Um, let's say, what is your thoughts on that, Pretty Blacks?
Yeah. Definitely. I think that's the biggest the real issue behind the mental health issue or the spike in mental health.
Now, not everybody, not everybody, because I don't do it, but majority of people is into weed and alcohol, right?
Yeah, but it
And
doesn't
a lot
matter.
of people is into cocaine.
It doesn't really matter
And-
what you do, it's how you do it, the consumption, and you could be watching TV. Too much of TV turn you into give you mental issues.
Right, but I find that even when you abuse certain things, whether it be lightly or heavily, it actually affects your mental. So let's say weed. Weed is sort of a like a depression. It takes you down, right? It makes you mellow. It makes you hungry. It makes you. What's the effects of weed? You smoke weed, right?
Uh, Recently, I just in it,
Okay. So what's the effects of weed? Because I don't smoke weed. So tell me what's the effects of weed? What do you get out of smoking weed?
nothing really. I mean, you get something, but overall,
Do you
don't
get
really.
depression?
Um, do you feel depressed, or does it help you with?
No, I'm talking about does it negatively does it give you depression?
No, we
Okay,
we
talk to me.
we with the depression because
It helps with depression.
yeah, depression. If we talking medically, weed is actually
But weed brings you down. How does it help with depression? Depression is you're in a down state.
well. Sometimes depression could be because your mind is racing, you overthinking, or it could be. It doesn't necessarily.
I heard that it made people paranoid because they start thinking too much. So
Yeah, that's
So
the
it-
thing with weed. The studies of weed is so crazy because the same thing that it can help you with, it could cause.
yeah,
So it's
that's-
like if you have prior illness or prior disease, it could help with it. But if you didn't have it,
It could
cause
trigger it. So what's the sense of smoking it? Is it to
It's-
be cool?
No, it is it's really beneficial to some people, but not everybody.
How is it beneficial to people?
It helps with depression. It helps with depression. It
But you
really-
just said it makes some people depressed.
no, I didn't say it. You asked me that.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it makes some people depressed.
Yeah, because they using it. People get depressed when they smoke too much.
What do you mean using it wrong? It's, you know,
Because it's a like when you buy weed now from the dispensary, it literally tells you how to use it. Like it tells you 4 inhale every 2 hours or something. But
Oh,
you
yeah?
got people
Is that so?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
And when I was younger, the way that we used to smoke was we roll a whole blunt, which could be a lot of weed, and we smoke that right there. 20 minutes, finish the blunt. That's enough for like 3 days, 4 days. Dope of marijuana that we smoke. Like
Oh, so
20
you
minutes.
overdid it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's how it's usually done in the streets. Is overdone. Is not used to a proportionate amount.
So what about like cocaine?
I don't really know too much of it, but I know cocaine is definitely a party drug, and it gets them, excited.
But the thing about cocaine, it disrupt your brain too.
Well, yeah, cocaine is a little too much of a hard drug.
It
That I
depends on
could-
the person though, because some people is hard, some people is not. What about heroin?
Well, heroin, that's very, very, very extreme hard drug, and heroin is just
Is that the drug you make most money from in the streets? Heroin?
Yeah, heroin. But
Okay.
heroin is
But-
crazy now. They got fentanyl.
Right, right, and that's even that makes it more potent.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Basically, I'm just listing drugs here, but the point about listing the drugs is all these drugs affect you mentally. It affects your mental health,
Yeah.
right? It brings you to a level to where you can need to be in the psychiatric ward.
Yeah. It's if you
And-
using it.
Well, when you use it, period. But what about alcohol? Alcohol, a lot of people abuse alcohol because they think it's cool. Okay, Ciroc, yeah. Alcohol is one of those drugs that creeps up on you and it take you for a ride. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that? I mean, a lot of people is becoming billionaires over alcohol. You know what I'm saying? When I say alcohol, there's one in particular. I think what's Jack Daniels.
Oh,
The guy who owns that, he's a billionaire right now.
it's
You know
been
what I'm saying?
around.
Yeah. Jack Daniels, that dude is, he's filthy. He's filthy, straight billionaire. B. He's hitting that Billy. You know what I'm saying? Now there's a lot of cats on the corner that's hustling the cocaine, and there's no difference with the guys on the corner hustling the cocaine and the guys that's selling these liquors. You know, basically what it is, they take it to the next level. You know, they taking it to the next level. It's destruction of your neighborhood and everything like that. And I'm not trying to knock nobody hustle. I'm just saying that's a wrong hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, I think Biden was sniffing cocaine or something like that, or was it his son? I'm not
His
too
son.
sure who it was. But anyway, he got all this cocaine in the White House, and they
Yeah.
partying like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's like 100 years old, but he's sniffing cocaine with his son. Is that how it goes?
I don't know how it goes. And all I just know is they definitely a bag of cocaine. Like,
Yeah, but I'm hearing that White House means cocaine house. They say that the white stands for the cocaine. So if that man is out there sniffing cocaine like no tomorrow, he's partying like a rock star, everybody needs to respect him.
I mean, if that was the case, they probably call him the coolest president ever, but I don't really think that's the case.
Well, some people think that he is.
That he's the coolest president ever.
Yeah,
Biden?
yeah.
I didn't know.
Especially now that he's sniffing cocaine all day.
I ain't know Biden had love like that.
Him and his son, yeah. That's what I heard. I'm not too sure. Ladies and gentlemen out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy is sniffing cocaine. Him and his son. I'm not too sure what's going on, oh, they say Biden is too old for cocaine. Maybe he's on the heroin.
Yeah, the hell will knock him out.
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure, but the thing about it is, the cocaine is there. Is it him? Is it his wife? Is it his son? Is it all of them smoking and having a good old time over there?
It gotta be his son. His son has the history, so.
I'm thinking it's all of them because let me tell you something, man. When they start partying like a rock star and start sniffing cocaine and heroin and all that stuff, it's no holds bar.
Nah, Biden too old. He too old for that. Cocaine, hip hop.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Holla at Me Radio. This is how we do it. We talk about the realness. I mean, there's no holds bar. We are in America, and we exercise in our
freedom of speech, baby.
Freedom of speech, and this is the reason why I love this country, and I love it when you're able to be free and you're able to really talk that talk, and not be scared of what your habits are. I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, check my books. You see a lot of my habits in there. It's one of those things that I think that everybody should be proud of where they were. And if it's bad, then guess what? Stop and do the right thing. So liquor is a big hustle out there. And, they take away cocaine and they say cocaine is no good, but they say liquor is good. Liquor is just as bad, if not even worse, because it's legalized right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, cocaine is legal in the White House because they partying like they're a rock star.
Maybe that's a sign they about to legalize it.
Oh, maybe.
Just like marijuana.
Yeah. All right. So, Pretty Blacks, I see you don't. You ever tried cocaine?
Nah.
What about heroin?
Nah.
What about alcohol?
Yeah, I've drank alcohol.
Oh, you answer that kind of quick. Like, yeah. I drink.
Yeah, nah.
You love it.
Alcohol is everywhere. It's like that's if you're talking about doing something with you. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, I'm looking at Pretty Black's face, and I'm just wondering, like, this man is thinking in his head, like, I mean, goddamn, here we go again. Ken, come on, cut this out. But listen, at the end of the day, if you're abusing alcohol,
nah,
but are you abusing the alcohol?
Nah. If it's something that you can do with if it's something you can do, if there's any drug you can do with your parents, it's probably alcohol. You can drink a cup of wine.
Oh no, but we already said Biden and his son is sniffing cocaine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like alcohol, when you ask me if I drink alcohol and I say it quickly, that's it's everywhere.
And let me ask you a question: how often are you drinking and smoking?
Well, I was drinking more alcohol before, but now I'm not drinking at all. I haven't really been too much in a party life, so I haven't really been drinking. But I smoke.
But I mean, you going to parties every week, man. You doing parties?
No, that's what I'm saying.
You doing shows? Are you
that's what
like
I'm saying.
just gutting down the liquor? What's going on over there when you're doing those shows?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You like do the nightlife thing. You gotta kind of like monitor yourself because it's like it could be every night. So I was drinking a lot 2-3 months ago every night. So I've slowed down and like I go out but not too often. I've been taking a little break, maybe like 2 weekends. Yeah.
You take a little break off the of the alcohol or
everything. Alcohol, party.
Okay. The cocaine, no, that's a no.
Nah, man.
Okay.
That's not
But-
me. That's not my thing.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, the thing about it is, if you out there, you're doing it up like Biden and his son. I'm not too sure. What would you say to people that's on cocaine? Because I know professionals that's very successful, that they are, cokeheads.
Man,
I mean, look at the president. You know.
nah, I don't think the president. I don't think like alleged. I don't think we use the alleged word with
Okay.
the president. But nah, just
I mean, according to media, we just we this is alleged because, ladies and gentlemen, I did not see that man sniff cocaine.
exactly.
So I'm just saying what is alleged. I heard it in the news.
Now, if you have a substance abuse problem, cocaine, definitely seek help as soon as possible.
But what about the rest? Alcohol. You have a weed? Do you have a weed problem? Is there anywhere that you could get help with
Nah,
weed?
I don't have a weed problem.
Oh, okay.
But
How do you know if you got a weed problem?
if you that's all that you, if that's all that you catering to,
Yeah.
if you got other things you need to do, putting that first as your priorities, then you know what I mean.
Then it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Okay. Angie from Cali is saying functional habit. I mean, functional addict. Okay. The thing about it is, I feel like there's AAA, AA. No, not it's AA, not AAA, but AA.
Oh yeah. For the
Alcohol Anonymous.
rehab,
Yeah, that's big. And they have for drugs, different drugs. They also have something for that as well.
Yeah, they have a ton of rehabs. For
Yeah. So that's one thing I think is very important. But let's get to number 3. Number 3 is talking about chronic illness or physical health issues. So physical health problems can affect mental health. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Conditions like chronic pain, cancer, okay, neurological disorders can lead to depression, anxiety, and other mental health disorder.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when you're talking about chronic physical problems, such as pain or cancer and all of that, cancer is one of the things I think you actually lose your appetite, and a lot of people get medicated marijuana to actually help with their appetite. Because one of the things they say, marijuana actually helps your appetite. And maybe you got a point, because when people are using it, they don't abuse it.
Yeah.
And using it to get their
Yeah,
appetite.
using it as like medicine.
Right. So, and one of the interesting factor that you brought up earlier is that anything that you overuse
Yeah.
is a problem.
Yeah, too much of anything is not good.
Right. All right. So let's get to number 2. Number 2 is actually talking about traumatic experiences. So traumatic events such as physical or emotional abuse, accidents, or witnessing violence can significantly impact mental well-being and actually lead to conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, right? A lot of the military guys go through that. I give you a situation that anytime I think about it, it kind of triggers something in my stomach, man. So there was one time I was driving, right?
Yeah.
So I'm driving. I was doing a drive cycle in a car to do the inspection, right? So as I'm driving this car is I'm driving on the Meadowbrook. You familiar with the Meadowbrook?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Meadowbrook, I'm driving on there probably about 2-3 o'clock in the day, and it was one of those things to where it was very at that time of the day it's not packed, but there's always cars driving.
Yeah.
So what I realized was, as I'm driving northbound on the Meadowbrook. So the Meadowbrook go north and south. And I jumped on the highway. Initially I drove south, then I'm going northbound.
Yeah.
So as I'm going northbound, I realized there's no traffic, right? And when I was on the phone, I was actually on the phone with Lance, and I was like, oh man, no cars on the other side. And I don't remember what exactly we were talking about, but then I realized there was this one car. It was a Jeep inside the bushes. You know what I mean? So then I looked closely. I saw one kid standing up, and another kid standing with a baby. And so I pulled over. You know, mind you, I'm on the northbound side. So I pulled over on the side. I pulled over on the shoulder, and then I jumped over because there's no cars.
Yeah.
But when I jumped over and I looked, I saw the reason why there were no cars. So there was one kid laying in the street. There was one kid sitting in the street. The kid sitting in the street, the top of his dome was open, full of blood. You know what I'm saying? The other kid that was laying down, he motionless. When I checked his pulse, he was done, no pulse. Now, his neck appeared to be broken because the way his head was twisted, it's no way his neck wasn't broke. You understand? Now, I'm just trying to paint a picture, you know, because anytime I think about PTSD,
Yeah.
this is the picture that comes to my head. Now, the other thing was, after I checked this one pulse, I saw his neck. His neck was, you can't get your neck in that position.
It was twisted.
It was twisted. So his neck was broken. He had no pulse. I walked over to the side, right? There was this other guy. Hand was in a position, you can't put your hand in this position. You understand? So what I realized was this was a crazy accident. I don't know what they were doing, right? But then I looked by the car because this one kid would say, yo, over here, help me, help me, help me. So I ran over to the car. So now, mind you, everybody is parked up. Nobody get out their car. You know what I'm saying? And they parked up. Everybody is just looking. Now, I went over to the car. When I went over to the car, what I realized was there was one guy that he was slumped, like his head was slumped over, but his head was leaking. His head was open. You know what I'm saying? The top of his skull was open. So basically, he was laying on the car, like he was sitting with his head slumped down, and this guy is like, yo, come help me, help me. So basically what happened, the car flipped. You know what I'm saying? They was probably speeding. And now mind you, there was one kid, one girl was over there with a baby. It was like 8 of them in this car. You know what I'm saying? So now the one kid slumped over with his head, and his head is leaking, right? His head is leaking blood. So now, mind you, I'm in the medical field.
Yeah.
I was in the medical field. So this kind of thing, you see it in the hospital, where I used to work in the hospital. You see this in the hospital, it's not that bad because it's a controlled environment.
Yeah.
You can say, oh, bring the crash cart. Oh, yeah, it's a cold. Oh, you know, doctors come, nurses come, everybody is coming. Yeah, it's a controlled environment, even though everybody is boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So now, seeing something like this in an uncontrolled environment, it becomes a little traumatic. You understand? And something like this, what it did, it caused me stress for a little while. You understand? And what I had to do was I had to meditate on it, and I had to keep on meditating and meditating. And what that did was, it kind of alleviated me from saying, okay, well, it wasn't my fault because th- this guy he died. What happened was choppers came, right? Helicopters, ambulance. It was nuts. Everybody was over there. Now, when one of the guys that came, um, the the EMS came, they just threw. Now, mind you, this kid had a pulse. He had a pulse. You could see the brain, the in the brain. You could see it's pulsating. Was he gonna make it? I don't know. But and anyway, what they did, they threw a white bag over him to say he's done. But he wasn't done because he still had a pulse. You understand? So so what I'm saying is,
Gruesome scene.
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, I've seen a lot of things in the hospital, but it's a little different seeing it in a controlled environment versus an uncontrolled environment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about stress and depression and certain things that trigger depression, yeah, definitely you looking at certain things, it's gonna trigger that.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I think that for me, one of the things that helped me is meditation. I'm not saying it's gonna help everybody, but I'm just saying to the stage where I was at, it definitely helped me. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Yeah. So we're gonna move right along. Um, so let's get to number one. Number one is actually genetic factors. So one of the leading cause of mental health problem is genetics. Certain mental illness tend to run in families. Okay, so suggesting genetic predisposition. So majority of people, when it comes down to it, it's like high blood pressure. High blood pressure is a family trait.
Yeah. Genetics.
Yeah, depression, family trait. Schizophrenic, family trait. Um, so if you know that something running in the family, majority of people ignore it, right?
Well, yeah, because, being young, you don't know how serious things could be, how it could dominate you. So you just feel like, oh, yeah, I'll shake it off. But when it catch up,
It could get crazy.
it'd be crazy.
Facts, facts. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a little conclusion here. So, basically, mental health problem can actually come from various reasons, including genetic factors we just discussed, traumatic experience, chronic illness. Uh, there's a lot of reasons why you could get mental illness. So, by understanding that these factors can actually lead to to problems such as mental problems, we are saying that in order to promote the health, mental health, you got to actually be aware of it. So basically, it's one of those things that we're talking about it because we want to bring awareness to it, right? And this is actually something crucial. This is like I remember at one point when AIDS just came out, everybody was bringing attention to AIDS, and they were saying some of the reasons why you could catch AIDS, and they were saying, okay, you got to protect yourself
Yeah.
from this disease because this is something that is crazy, it's crucial, it's a beast.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing with mental mental health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because some of these things is it could really sneak up on
Yeah.
you. You know.
That's true.
Um, so pretty blacks. Anything that you want to add to as far as the topic before we sign with a little music?
Uh, yeah, just stay in touch with your emotions, your feelings, and just don't allow yourself to be down. It's natural for you to be down, but don't allow yourself to stay down for too long. And just be naturally happy if that's what you want to be. Don't force it.
I mean, could they call you if they want to be happy, if they're down? Could is it okay if people call you?
Ladies, holla at me.
I guess fellas, you out of gas.
Yeah, fellas, you gotta figure it out. But ladies,
Wow.
nah, but on a serious note,
Yeah.
just don't allow yourself to be too down. Don't allow yourself to be too up, especially if it's not genuine. Keep a balance, and yeah, just stay positive, and just enjoy your life.
Okay, okay, I respect that 100%. So, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to mental health, obviously we spoke about many different causes that can actually cause, but regardless of the background, or regardless of what is the cause or what is the problem, there's hotlines out there, and everybody should seek help because I think that there's resources out there, but obviously you just gotta search, right?
Yeah.
Um, your best friend, Google on the phone. One of the things is when it comes to health care, health, health, mental health. One of I see here motivations. Motivations are us is saying that after listening to the story, she might have PTSD.
Yeah, that's funny.
Word. Um, so, ladies and gentlemen, it's so important for us to have compassion and empathy, and actually to understand how critical it is to give support to people who need support in the environment that we live in, because this mental health problems can be very stressful, and it could be something that really it could knock you off your foot if
Yeah.
you don't have the support. And even if you have the support, it still knock you off your feet.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things that I think that we all got to be aware, and we all got to be supportive to those out there that do have problems. Now, just to be on the serious side, Pretty Blacks, I don't think you got any mental problems, but I just wanted to say it like that because, listen, if that was the case, it should be okay for somebody to let you know. And
Yeah.
the same thing with me. If somebody think that I have a mental problem, I think it's okay for y'all to
Yeah.
approach me and tell me that
To
I do
feel
have
like
a
you can
mental
talk.
problem.
Yeah, you gotta identify it to be able to
Exactly.
fix it. But now that's very important to have somebody to be able to talk to.
Right. And in today's day, one other thing that I want to address, last thing that I want to address is the stigma with mental health. A lot of people think that, that's one of the worst things that you could actually say to a person, that yo, you are crazy. You need to seek
Yeah.
mental help, mental help mentally. Right now, it shouldn't be that kind of stigma to where
Yeah.
they talking about your mother if they tell you need mental help.
Mm.
So, these are some of the things that we gotta make it to where it's one of the it's cool. It's still cool if you realize you got a slight issue and you want to seek out mental help.
Yeah,
Help,
that's true.
mentally. There's some people that's no matter what they do, they just cool with it.
Yeah.
And if you know that there is a problem or your friend to have a problem, you should be able to seek mental help. So at the end of the day, we just want to end it at that. When it comes down to mental health, take care of your mental health. And if someone or something is taking away the health from you mentally, then you need to take a detour and go the next route. So, ladies and gentlemen, Pretty Black say, if ladies out there, if you're feeling a little crazy, you're feeling a little down, definitely holla at him because he could definitely make you feel better. So, we're gonna sign out with some music. I want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to us. Thank you for taking your time out to hearing what was going on. It's all love. This is how we doing it, baby. Holla at me, radio. Peace and love. Until next time. Let's go, baby.
just play it straight, straight, yeah. No games. We've been together 6 months now. Perfectly. You push for us to exchange vows. Change our ways. I gave my life over to you, then you turned around. After all that we've been through, I was very far. Well, I want you all time. I forever love you. You're mine. I'm not mad, you know I'm sad of you. So give me one more chance. Love you, girl, do you feel the same? I don't wanna play. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. You're the only one that can have my play. Baby, just play it straight, straight, yeah. No, yeah. Is this the life you really want? Constant illusion. Your time with me was very fun. There's no illusion. But I don't know you anymore. When you walk outside that door, you left your happiness. But girl, I want you all time. I'll forever love you. You're mine. I'm not mad, even though I'm sad of you. So give me one more chance. Love you, girl, do you feel the same? I don't wanna play games. No games. You're the only one that can have my play. Baby, just play it straight, straight, yeah. No games. Cause you're my one and only. I'm still here feeling lonely. Feeling wasted, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're my sunshine. I need you back one more time. Darling, yeah. I love you, girl. You feel the same. I don't wanna let no games. You're the only one that can hold my play. Baby, just play it straight, straight, yeah. No games. Girl, I love you. Hey, just in case you never know. Just in case you never know. Hey, love you, girl. Do you feel